I wasn't ready yet.
I said, Evan, we should go over now so Jason can see how sweet Jinjee. So sweet.
Let me,
Yeah. Oh, he's purring so loud too. Can you move the microphone close? You can hear the purr, man.
I can also hear you breathing. Not that you can't breathe. Breathing is important.
Drive safe, Violetta.
Be careful, Violetta. Kitty Asmer.
He's so squeezed.
How are you guys today? How are you freaking doing? Jinjee, you cute boy. You guys, Jinjee's just he's a cute boy.
He gave me some kisses just.
And that means he's marked Krissy as his. How is everybody this morning?
That's one fucking nice kitty right there.
Danny, Violetta, Jession, and Mr. Philip. Mr. Philip. What are you doing?
Can I have the,
what are you
can I
doing?
have the famous wiener in my anus?
Oh, poor man.
He likes butt spanks. This is basically the content that we just decided this is what we're just going to stream today. Well, as long as Jinjee wants to hang out.
Yeah.
As long as
Are you
Jinjee.
okay with that? Are you okay with that, buddy? Oh.
Here, I
Do you kind of want to like?
Oh. Baby, go to your. Are you gonna go to your housel?
Okay.
Your housel? Yes. I went to get some yarn. Oh, covered in it. Violetta's going to get some yarn.
Ooh, what are you gonna crochet or knit?
Is it knitting or is it crocheting?
I just finished crocheting a thing.
That one where you like tangle the rope thing up? You know?
Macrame?
Is that what it's called? My mom used to do the one where you like put it's got 4 posts and you wrap the yarn around and it makes a big long yarn tube and then you roll the tube into a big carpet.
That's actually when you push it over like that. Like you have like a tube with nails coming out.
Yeah.
And you make loops. That's actually a form of knitting.
Oh.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah,
I wish Danny
knitting.
wishes she could crochet.
I can kind of crochet, so I'm going to show you something that doesn't look exciting at all, but it is kind of it's made out of plarn, so it's like plastic bags, and basically I have one up there already, but it's like a shelf that I've made.
Yeah, she's made like it's so she makes.
We can use the cat cam to show them the one that we've installed already.
Well, I can. Hey, Matt Ladison.
Can we use the cat cam for that? So this is just a way for us to utilize extra space in our tiny house to make like storage space for shit.
You want to look in my ears?
And right now we just have like lotion.
It's
That
hooks.
Yeah.
And it's like a strong, flexible material.
Yeah, so you take
There's also that.
you take the plastic bags.
That is one of our wall arts.
You take the plastic bags that they give you when you go grocery shopping and you cut them into like long strips or I guess long loops, and then you clove hitch those loops together and make yourself some plarn. I'll show you.
The Blarney
Your
Stone.
Plarn.
They call it the Blarney Stone.
I sound so Canadian when I say that. Your Plarn.
Can't
So,
tell what it looks like.
This is your Plarn. So yeah, I made plastic bags into a big ball of Plarn,
Are you going in your house?
and then I just crocheted it. I've made bags out of this stuff too. It's really good. Like it's a really good way to reduce, reuse, recycle your plastic bags that they now are getting rid of or charging you money for it. So,
Yeah.
Hold on to
Looks
them.
like what they give you now is like an impregnated canvas, meaning like it's waterproof. That's what they call it. Impregnated with waterproofing.
Out of curiosity, do they still have plastic straws in the States?
Yeah.
Because our government,
Jinjee, you're blocking all the light and you're not in your house.
God bless our government. It wants to do the right thing, but through doing sometimes the right thing, it does, or what it thinks is the right thing, it does stupid things. So
Yes.
They
Still have
to curb global
Minnesota.
warming and plastic wastage, they decided to get rid of plastic straws.
Yeah.
Which, okay, fine, but what about the fucking plastic lids for the cups that were still being served?
Paper straws
Right
are
now
the
they give
worst.
you these paper straws, which are goddamn mush. They make your drink taste like cardboard, and then they fall apart in your mouth while you're drinking it.
It's true.
Yeah. Subway has a decent fake plastic straw,
Like a
though.
Dasani water bottle says like 99.9% biodegradable plastic. And it's like, well, make my fucking straw out of that.
Yeah. But see, my worry about like a metal straw or a glass straw is I'm accidentally gonna bite on it. There's I guess
The
those silicone
silicone?
straws, but they're like, I don't know. I struggle
don't
with
do
like
a lot
having
of-
to clean it.
I just don't use straws
Yeah.
that often. I don't know.
I don't
What do
know.
you, does Mr. Philip Torkington, do you go like this? Like open up your jacket, grab your little thing, grab your metal straw, put it in your milkshake?
Violetta, we get
Just
paper straws and plastic wrap. Cause yeah, exactly. That's like my other main gripe is when you buy stuff, especially
Clean
scissors.
yours?
The amount of like plastic that things get like sold in. So if you want to get rid of like one-use plastics, it all comes down to the fucking packaging of shit.
Yeah, what's the example you always use?
Scissors.
Yeah, that you have to use scissors to cut
Yes.
open a pack of scissors.
Oh my god! And they like make it so difficult to open unless you have scissors. It like literally. Ew.
Yes, the straw came in a little storage bag, and I thoroughly wash it when we return home. I mean, I understand that. Amazing pun in the thumbnail.
He makes great
Coyote.
thumbnails.
We were talking about if we should try and make it cohesive
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form, and we were like,
it doesn't
nah.
matter. Oh,
Yoatster.
We went to Humboldt the other day, Humboldt, Saskatchewan, and we did some shopping. And I got myself this super cool shirt from the PV Mart. And look at its really cool built-in feature.
She's gonna be shoveling like a mad woman, I tell ya.
I'm so excited about this shirt. You guys have no idea. It's so awesome.
I don't wash my metal straws, I just accept the fate. I have a jacket. They actually, I think they call it a European style, where it zips all the way up to here.
It is like straight up a face mask. It says like viral off on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on sale at
Yeah, it was on sale for like
freaking PV Mart, yo.
no, I bought jeans for $12 and this shirt for like $22, I think. Cause yeah, check it out. This shirt's originally $70.
Yeah.
Got it for sale for $22, and a pair of flannel line jeans for $12.
Freaking PV Mart.
Fucking love PV Mart.
If you guys don't go, like, I know that the United States has that, like, Buc-ee's. And this, honestly, this could be the
It
one
could
that we
be.
were at. Like, oh, it's not.
No,
but it looks just
very
like it.
similar. Yeah.
You guys got, like, Buc-ee's in Texas and, like, you know, all that other stuff. Yeah. We have PV Mart.
PV Mart.
100%
And Canadian
Canadian
Tire.
owned. Yeah, we also went to Canadian store. Wilco. Why does that sound so
It sounds familiar.
Didn't Wilco turn into Zellers?
No.
The building did.
No, it
in
wasn't.
Moose
That was Woolco.
Wilco?
I remember Woolco. Maybe it's because we've watched enough British shit that it's been mentioned.
Maybe. 14,000 jobs at risk.
Holy shit!
No, I've never
heard
this.
of Wilco.
When we were children, there was one.
We had Woolco in Moose Jaw.
Woolco.
Yeah, Woolco was a chain, and then Woolco got bought out by Zellers, which
is apparently making like a comeback.
Yeah, well, it's like they're making pop-up shops inside HBC stores.
Yeah, like a bullshit nostalgia bait.
So, yeah, the Hudson Bay Company, which... Oh, this could be a fun little history lesson. So the Hudson Bay Company originally started as, like, trappers. And they, like... So before, like, Saskatchewan and Alberta were provinces, they were... land owned by the Hudson Bay Company.
Yeah, it was one gigantic private company.
Yeah. And then basically the Canadian government bought the land from the Hudson Bay Company. And then the Hudson Bay Company at some point became a store. And then they had their little branch off store called Zellers. And then Zellers got shut down and bought out by Target. And then Targets all got shut down. And now Zellers is making a comeback as little pop-up shops inside Hudson Bay.
Yeah, it's I mean, Canada.
Canada.
Just intently listening to the history lessons. That better?
I should also say, before HBC owned this land, obviously, like, this land is actually, like, it belongs to the native people and was wrongfully taken away from them.
Yes.
So,
let's...
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the advent of white people and the British, actually, I think we might have a story of a news format that will segue into. It appears
Good luck with your appointment, Danny.
Oh, good luck with your appointment, Danny. Hopefully they leave very quickly. So it appears that they have found some evidence of a frigid apocalypse is what forced early humans out of Europe. I mean, you know, it's I can't remember when it came out. I was kind of looking at it earlier, but basically, I don't know, I thought that this was the case, but apparently scientists on Thursday described evidence of a massive North Atlantic cooling event about 1.1 million years ago that lasted roughly 4,000 years and appears to have wiped out the entire population of archaic humans who had colonized Europe.
Okay, they were Homo erectus. I was about to ask, were they Homo sapiens sapiens?
Can you say erectus on screen?
Yeah, because you're talking about Homo erectus. It's the...
I'm just joking. Yeah. But based on fossils found in Spain, the species is believed to have been Homo erectus, generally considered to be the first member of human evolutionary lineage to have expanded beyond Africa. The species was the first possessing body proportions like ours and made innovations in stone tools. But I just seen it pop up, so I was like, just put it on there and read what it says. I don't know much about it, but I guess I don't understand history enough to know that wasn't what had happened. But we have little idea of the population numbers, but certainly tiny by modern standards. Probably the best is tens of thousands across Europe. But
when have this been the Ice Age?
That's kind of what I thought. But they were like, now it's a big deal. We found evidence of sorts and somehow.
Okay. So now they're like, they found evidence to basically support the theory that Graham Hancock has been like peddling about like.
Hey, he knows the things. He knows the things. Graham Hancock is that ancient aliens guy, for those who don't know.
I feel like some of what he says you need to take with a grain of salt, but I do think he's interesting to listen to. Like, I don't know. It might be worth looking into some of the stuff he says.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He really said one thing that made sense to me. Just basically, all it did was put into perspective how would a culture that has no reference to what it's seeing describe what it's seeing? Like, say, the Sentinelese who live on Sentinel Island, who are a protected group of people that have no outside interference. How would they describe an airplane?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we discount a lot of what, has been said in the past about certain things. I'm not necessarily saying like spaceships in Jesus' time, but we take what they say and they're like, what crazy people. And then you think about, how would you describe an airplane to someone who's never seen an airplane? You know what I mean? Like, so it just kind of helped me realize, like, oh shit, we're just putting it in the context that we understand.
Yeah.
But, do you like holding it?
I mean, I don't know. It kept falling over, so that's why I was holding it.
Oh, sorry. Microphone I was talking about. Describe sleep to an alien. Yeah, like a momentary period of time where your brain goes into a standby mode. You know what I mean? Like a gigantic airborne pressurized metal tube pretending to be a bird. Well, what's metal? What do you mean by metal? And what's a tube?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like,
what's pressurized?
Yeah, what do you mean pressurized? Like, it's as you start to try to figure out how to tell someone something, like describe a color that to someone that's never seen, that's colorblind, right? What would you be like? Oh, yellow's like, like lemons, and they'd be like, yeah, thanks, I'm colorblind.
Like, I went to high school actually with a girl who had a very rare form of color blindness where she could only see in black and white and grayscale. And actually she did say that her favorite color was pink. And so like I asked her one time, like, how do you know that pink is your favorite color? And she said basically like based off the descriptions given to her about the color pink.
Yeah, and it was just the way he phrased it was one of the first times I really kind of went, yeah, like how would you do it? Like, and sometimes you'd have to say something crazy because it's the only thing that they would have potential reference to. But, people are obsessed with colors, color this, color that, color of your skin. And how you can get that tan pumping, even though, as we like to say, winter is coming. Yeah. Apparently, a TikTok is starting a trend where if you eat carrots, the beta carotene will help orangify you slightly. This is technically true. So we've seen this person pop up in the past.
She basically encourages people like not to move their face muscles at all, so you stay wrinkle free.
Yeah, like literally her entire thing is about how she's managed to make it so that her face will never show a wrinkle because she never really smiles, and she
smiles without engaging the muscles underneath her eyes. So she
does like facial exercises, like micro movements in her eyes, like. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking? Basically, it's just pure insanity. And she's like, I put like 48 pounds of lotion on before I go to bed.
And now she's like, if you want to look more tan, just eat carrots.
Yeah, eat 1 to 3 carrots a day.
Which, like, that could kill you.
So they consider it a hack. I haven't actually watched this.
Can they like make a pill that just makes you naturally tan?
They do, actually.
Carrots a day. I've been doing this for years. I don't fake tan anymore. I don't go out during the day in the sunlight, and this is literally my nap.
Yeah, hear that? I don't go out during the day.
So I do know that they make a pill that makes you more naturally tan. I don't know if it's good for you, but there's like this British lady that took this pill to make herself look more naturally tan, and then she basically moved to Africa and now like claims to be
I
an
do
African
recall
woman.
that.
And she has very large breast implants. Or maybe she's German. She might be a German lady. I don't know.
should
She's from
actually
Europe.
play the rest of it.
Can they like make
Maybe
a
she
pill
says
that just
something
makes you
smart to
naturally
redeem
tan?
herself.
Bestie, just eat 3 large carrots a day. I've been doing this for years. I don't fake tan anymore. I don't go out during the day in the sunlight.
You want me
This is
to
literally
do my
natural
Valley
skin
Girl
color.
accent?
Pale and pink,
Oh my
like
god! I don't even know if I can remember what I was doing now.
Yeah, it just came so natural.
But it did, yeah.
I replayed it to hear what she said, but I
Sorry.
didn't hear it, and it's not that important.
No,
But
no one cares.
either way, she says, I don't fake tan anymore. I don't go out during the day in sunlight, and this is literally my natural skin color. It's absurd, and I mean, we all know that they like to be dangerous with certain things, with Tide Pods and all that fun stuff.
Oh my god, I wish I looked a little
But-
bit cooler. Maybe I'll start taking colloidal silver and I'll turn blue.
Yeah. But when it is eaten in large quantities, it does indeed turn your skin slightly orange. The only where people would probably maybe remember this coming up in the past is actually with Steve Jobs. So Steve Jobs had pancreatic cancer, but he was also obsessed with drinking carrot juice.
Yeah.
And he drank like 3 glasses
like
or 4 glasses of carrot juice.
Naturopathic medicine,
Yeah.
right?
And when Ashton Kutcher was in the film for Steve Jobs, I think it was called Jobs. Maybe it was called Steve.
Yeah.
Maybe it was called Apple. Or
Maybe it's called Steve Jobs.
Eye boners. I don't know.
I don't know.
But when he was being Steve Jobs in the movie as an actor, he started doing the carrot thing just to, method act it a bit. And he ended up in the hospital with pancreatitis because what happens is when you eat too many carrots,
You get too much beta carotene.
yeah, and it actually starts to disable the functionality of your pancreas, which is why people get jaundice and stuff like that, which is kind of... Oh, no, wait. Is jaundice connected to the pancreas? Yeah.
Didn't Michael Fassbender also play Steve Jobs around the same time? And lo and behold, I don't think he did anything weird like this to his body.
I'm glad that nobody knows how I tried to spell that, but... Is that how it's spelled?
What are you looking for?
I was looking up if it's the pancreas that causes jaundice or not. I can't
That is
remember.
not how you spell jaundice. He spelled
Don't!
John.
I spelled it perfectly right.
J-O-H-
No. Google corrected that.
N
I spelled it different.
space Das.
That is not.
D-A-S-S.
Google corrected
John
that.
Das.
Does anyone have evidence of this? You don't.
John Das.
You don't.
John's Das.
I know. Okay, so this doesn't. This is a weird segue from that, but
It's Jaundice. That's how you spell
Juan Das.
it.
My skin has Juan Das. What do you guys, do any of you use AI on a regular basis to just ask questions where you would normally look up the answer to yourself?
No.
Because I've been seeing a huge increase of it's being incorporated into web browsers and applications and stuff. So instead of being like, I wonder if jaundice is connected to pancreatic functions, you would just ask AI. You would say, is jaundice caused by the pancreas? And it would tell you. But I find it strange. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, I'm still so mentally preoccupied by
Simpsonitis.
John Das.
I didn't spell it like that. I spelled it. You want to know how I spelled it? I spelled it like this because I don't know how to spell it. And then Google corrected it to John Das.
John Das.
I don't even know how to spell it to even begin. Wait. Let's see how our friend the AI says it.
Jandase.
That's pretty close. Okay. Jaundice. Oh,
I did spell it right.
it is Juan Dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Madison got it. Juandice.
Yeah, remember I spelled it out loud for you, and I spelled Juandice.
Juandice and the pancreas. Why am I still looking this up? Yeah, it is. I think. How is jaundice related to the pancreas? Yeah, it is. So I wasn't completely wrong. But yeah, I mean, don't eat that many carrots.
There's a good chance, Philip. It's kind of overcast today.
Oh yeah, it's probably gonna rain. It rained really bad yesterday.
We actually said it's probably a good thing we didn't stream yesterday because it basically stormed all day long, and our internet would have been so shitty.
Yeah, it was really actually. There was this container outside, and there's probably like, just from dripping off the house, like
4 inches of rain in it.
Yeah, and it probably equates to like 2.5 gallons of water.
Oh.
And we don't have eavesdrops up, so it was just what would have come off of that portion of the house.
Philip has 28 degrees.
Juandice. 28 degrees. Let's see where we are. I'm just going to check the local weather where we are. It's probably raining. There is several. So Saskatchewan and Alberta, they really hate the idea of coming up with renewable, safe energy. So they've been really pushing back on that for the last several years, thusly putting us behind everybody else in development, causing a lack of things in the construction sector. And those two provinces have declared the most agricultural emergencies because of lack of rain. So, you know what? At the end of the growing season, it looks like the next 3 or 4 days will all be rain.
Yeah.
So when they go to collect
they're going to be so
their
pissed.
crops, it'll be like absolute
my wheat
mud.
is so wet. Blah, 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 blah.
Jindassy. So if anybody does find themselves with the case of the Jindassy, go to the hospital with or without your free Medicare. El señor and señorita, I am Juandice, famous Spanish gambler extraordinaire. Yeah, there's no limit to the amount of bad advice that's out there. Typically your skin has a lot more to do with just the fact that you forced yourself not to blink.
Yeah.
You know? But, you know, stupid is as stupid does. But there's just a couple other things we found. Nothing too crazy here. There is the Lizzo.
Oh, yeah.
She, 6 more people have come out citing inappropriate behavior, I believe in a sexual fashion.
I mean, I am all for being sex positive and expressing.
Well, I bail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Build your rope.
Build your rope. But you should not expect other people to eat bananas from vajayjays if they don't want to do that.
There is literally...
There's a line, and I would, if my boss asked me to do that, I would be like, no.
Yeah.
And if I got fired because I said no, I probably too would sue.
In the actual court documents, it uses the word launched when describing things being projectiled out of a vagina. And it's like... launched in an actual court document. It says launched. Like when I think of launched, like if say I was like, oh, can you toss me the keys? To say that she launched them, it would have to be like you threw them like a football field over my head. You know what I mean?
So, okay, Mr. Levity, where was it, in Amsterdam or something?
It was like,
and they went to this like Bananarama show or something, and part of like the show is that you can eat bananas out of...
It's called the Banan Bar.
Bananan Bar. Yeah, Bananan Bar.
This is TripAdvisor. Let's see what TripAdvisor says.
The Bananan Bar.
This is what you need to know about the Bananan Bar.
And so...
Oh, it's only got 2.5 stars? And they're launching La Shine... So about.
So I mean, like, if you want to do that, that's your thing. Fucking have fun.
So
I
about
hope these
this.
women are like, not like, as long as everybody that thing there is like above board and nobody's being trafficked or whatever. Like, have fucking at her. Have fun doing this.
The most fun and surprising bar in the heart of the red light district in Amsterdam. Bananas play an important role in the entertainment, and we're not talking cocktails here. At Banana Bar, scarcely. Dressed girls will make your heart beat faster, and we will make sure your glass is always filled. Why is everybody wearing sunglasses indoors? What is happening with these fucking bananas?
I don't know, this looks weird. But like I said, if this is your thing, fucking have fun. But you have to expect that most of your employees will not want to join you on this excursion.
Let's see some comments here. Let's see what travelers are saying. So, I don't actually know. Do I want to? No. I don't think I do. I don't want to read the comments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was a big video that had come out where she was talking about how that review not what it was. I personally like bananas, but I would imagine that is I would imagine there's a lot of naturalized sugars and yeasts on bananas that shouldn't only...
Unless they are like kept in the wrap and the unpeeled part is like exposed and that's what you eat.
Yeah. So, yeah, look at Coyote. Whoa, whoa. We talking bananas in pajamas? Coming down the stairs. Yeah, so
Bananas
in the actual
pajamas.
court documents, banana in vag bar. Yeah, in Amsterdam.
Yeah, in Amsterdam.
So this is Lizzo talking about how badly she wanted to go.
I'm feeling great, man. I love Amsterdam. I had a day off yesterday, so I got some rest finally. Or kind of, it's Amsterdam, so we partied.
Well, I saw what you did yesterday because I follow you on Instagram. And I saw on the Insta stories you were on the red light district.
Yeah, we were.
You were to the Casa Rosso.
Oh my God, how do you know
Yeah,
that?
because I lived for 4 years on the red light district, in the middle of the red light district, so I recognize a lot of
He
places.
lived in the middle of
and I
the
saw
red light
that you
district.
saw a live sex show. Please tell me everything about the sex show.
It was people fucking, man. It was crazy. They were just doing it, but you know what? It was beautiful.
Yeah?
I went to the one show where it was like a couple, and they were like passionately making love.
So again, as Christina said, we're not sex positive people.
Yeah.
But what these people are saying is she has a severe lack of awareness of what happens when your boss
expects you to go on these
asks
things
you
as
to
like,
go to something
as
like
like a
this.
team building exercise.
Yeah, and that potentially everyone goes, well, they could have said
Yeah.
no.
But the thing is, if they turn it down, then they're not viewed on kindly in their job.
Yeah, they said basically there was this toxic atmosphere of, we're friends. You're my friends. Come do friend things with me. And they're like, I just want to keep my job.
Really passionate?
It was really, they kissed. They
Great.
kissed after, I'm not going to say what she did. But I'm trying to go to the show where you eat the banana out the pussy. Which one is that?
See?
This is a banana bar.
Well, that's the banana bar?
Yeah, you
and
were
they
at
have
the
the
banana
banana
bar.
in the coochie?
And ping pong balls.
And you have to go,
Yes. And
That's what I wanna do.
Then you have to eat it.
I need my potassium, if you know what I'm saying. My potassium.
That's not how you spell it.
That's not how you spell it.
That's a bad...
Like, John Dass.
John Dass! It's coming from the man who found John Dass.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically...
Like, if you want to do that, fucking do that. But, like I said, don't expect your employee... Like, you should never ask your
take a
employees to do
business
that.
function to something like that.
No.
It's... The funny part is kind of in an opposite end of the entertainment spectrum, but a refusal to give up tapping sacks. Fucking Steven Crowder. Slurpin' Chowder with Steven Crowder. If you guys know who he is, he's a very right-wing piece of shit, really, right? Basically, he's just like the Ben Shapiro's. Actually, the Ben Shapiro, Daily Wire, and Slurpin' Chowder with Crowder are like the same entity but battling each other. It's insane. But he like had a non-disclosure agreement to his employees, basically saying, if you don't like me sending you dick pics and hitting you and tapping your nuts as you walk by, you shouldn't work here anymore.
Yeah, and then didn't the NDA also say that they would have to pay $100,000?
Yes, they would be liable for $100,000 if they talked to another news agency about what goes on at the Mug Club, who has decided their newest co-host, or whatever they're trying to turn it into on Rumble, I don't know. Either way, what's fucking turning the friggin' frogs gay? What's his fucking name? Alex Jones.
Oh yeah, didn't he hire him?
They're trying to be like, they tried to silence this man.
Yeah.
No, they actually said, because you speak too much, you owe all these people almost
you owe
$1
close
billion.
to $1 billion. Yeah.
Yeah, you owe $986 million for defaming all of these people at Sandy Hook.
False bullshit.
But fuck, it's just like, what do you mean? Instead of, you're just gonna say, if you don't like it when I tap sax, don't work here. It's just not, that's not how it works.
Yeah, no.
But she laughs and then immediately turns emotionless for 2 seconds. Boss, what's next? Well, if you could do that firing, organize the cards, telephone the customer, cut out these letters, do a t-shirt, and then eat this banana.
Oh, Danny, Steven Crowder's tapping sax. And
Who's tapping sax?
And wants to make his employees sign NDAs so he can get away with doing so.
Yeah, this is...
you know, I will also say, Americans, I am sorry that Canada produced this man and he immigrated down to your country.
Some of the worst people in America are Canadian transplants.
Yeah. And I don't get it.
Fucking...
They're the
who's
ones...
that dickhead in Texas?
Oh, fucking...
Ted Cruz! Ted Cruz! And Steven Slurpin' Chowder with Steven Crowder.
It's true.
Yeah, a video had come out probably like a month or so ago now, showing him being, I don't even know how you describe the level of emotional and mental abuse he was doing to his pregnant wife in the video.
One where he's like, that doesn't work either.
Yeah, it's like something that they would do in a movie, and you'd be like, no one would treat their spouse like that.
And he's trying to make his pregnant wife handle like dog medication.
Worm medication for their dog.
That could make her like spontaneously miscarry. And it's like, for someone who's super pro-choice, that's kind of really fucking dickish of you.
Yeah, and not to bring up a touchy subject, but I'm sure you're about to...
Yeah, speaking of, you know, the whole pro-life debate, he's pro-life. Texas's like infant death rate has increased exponentially since they've gotten rid of access to
an increase of
abortion.
227 deaths, or 11.5% increase in infant mortality.
And sorry, I need to make sure that everybody knows that I corrected myself earlier. I accidentally said that Steven Crowder is pro-choice. He is not pro-choice. He's pro-life, which is anti-choice.
Which is fucking just crazy to wrap your head around. There are 6 or 7 women that had to come forward in a lawsuit against Texas because of this insane fear-based legal system they've created around abortion. These women were forced to give birth to feti that were not
babies.
Yeah, they
babies.
Wow, they were not long for this world. The one woman, she's talking about how she had to sit there with her baby who lived for 4 hours while it struggled
to breathe
and then
like
die.
Turned blue. She like actually got physically ill in the middle of her testimony talking about it.
So it's just kind of, again, we won't harp on this, but to say that you are some form of doing this out of some form of religious values is the most absurd thing, and your God will punish you for treating people this way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you. But
like, they're hurting so many people.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry, we didn't mean to get into the heavy, but it
happens. But like, let's take it back from the heavy.
Yeah,
for a
on
moment.
a less heavy
into something a little bit stupid.
Yeah, just kind of dumb. Viral plane. That's not man. Let's see if we can find the original video. Yeah, that's really draconian. That lady was on something. Oh, this lady. Yeah. So this is the original.
She accused that person of being a lizard on a plane.
Yeah, this is the original video. This is basically, there's not a lot of context to be given. This is the video that went viral. That's.
But I'm telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real. Say whatever you want. I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real.
I am telling you right now, not real. So that is it. That's the context. A woman on a plane just going insane, out of her membrane,
accusing this dude of not being real.
And apparently, like, the passengers all turn and, like, I don't know, people analyze that to try and pick out who it was, and there's some guy sitting there, like, just with his hood up, like, smiling. Yeah. And they think, like, Madison said that she was on something, and he might have been like, yeah, I'm a lizard. Yeah, I'm a lizard. But, and I still don't know what she's talking about. So the interesting thing, there has been a development on this. She has come out and said that it was not real. And the frightening aspect that she's referring to in this headline is what has happened since the clip went viral. So she's the woman from the not real video aboard the flight and has finally broken her silence about it and has urged people to not judge her. So basically it goes on to say, oh yeah, that caught me off guard. Knuckles Lawn Care. Basically, the identity of the not real passenger remained a bit of a mystery, which is that, like I said, I don't know, apparently some guy she spoke to the Daily Mail saying that her life has blown up since it went viral. She said, my life has been blown up. It's frightening. Things grow viral and everything changes, she said. No one knows anyone else's story, and no one should judge. No one knows what it's like. But if you made a viral moment out of falsity, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? You know what I mean? Don't judge people. You put it out there for people to judge, right?
I'm so confused.
The marketing entrepreneur, which is apparently her, added that people have been staking out her home as well as neighbors have been going through her mail, and some of the videos are inaccurate. But it's just...
so, like, the whole video is faked? Like, it was staged?
That's what it sounds like. The rest of it.
What? 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 What did you say? What? 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 What?
I fixed it so Google doesn't dox me anymore. Sorry. What was she talking about? But lady, what the fuck were you talking about, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I thought I had seen something that the way the whole plane looked back. Oh yeah, when she said that motherfucker right there.
So MLM?
I had seen a different article that said a little bit more on the subject.
Don't judge people while you're on video judging people.
Yeah, don't judge people while saying this motherfucker's not real. Let's see, I just want to look it up again. Not real woman. I bet you if I type that into Google, Boom.
Yeah.
Not real woman comes up. Yeah, like just. Oh shit. The story expands. She is identified
Sparked
as a
over an
marketing
argument.
executive with a $2 million home.
Sparked over an argument about missing AirPods.
Is this it? You talking
I'm
about?
also a mom, so it's called planning ahead.
Wait.
I think it's just random. Yeah,
Yeah, that's something dumb. We're getting debated here.
Yeah.
Get this shit off my face.
I fucking hate articles.
They
It's like-
wonder why people don't want to go to sites anymore, because it's like when you go to pay for your groceries and they ask you if you'd like to donate to 58 fucking charities, and you're like, I don't know, you're the multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Oh, and because of our lovely government, you can't access news articles on Facebook anymore.
Yeah, it actually, if you go to Global News, CTV Canada, you name it, it says this is not available in Canada because.
But it's also like weirdly getting like some things are affected and some things aren't. Like a radio station, they're not allowed to like. I follow this radio station on Facebook, and they usually share like memes and stuff. They're not. Their page has been shut down. Yet Rebel News, an actual news outlet, has not been shut down. And I think Rebel News is actually kind of like right wing centered.
Which is, sorry?
Rebel News.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, what the hell? Because the whole thing was about like getting rid of information and like, you know, trying to like, you know, make sure that like not all information is right wing leaning. And then it's like, well, the only thing that is fucking available to people seems to be right wing shit.
Yeah, there was a lot of, just like with anything else, when they make a sweeping rule, certain things get lumped in that are actually more of a gray zone. Like if a radio station plays 99% music and 1% news, should they be blocked? You know? But yeah, it basically says she's a marketing executive who lives in Texas. When the police reviewed the documents about the incident, so her name is Tiffany Gomez. So she's 38 and was allegedly unwilling to leave the flight despite her rant and had to be removed by staff. So it was alleged that she got into an argument with family members she was traveling with over a pair of missing AirPods. And she accused her relatives of stealing them. Then it says the female then started claiming the aircraft was not safe and did not want the aircraft to leave due to her believing it would not make it to its destination, the July complaint states. The other passengers aboard the flight were then forced to exit the plane so they could be screened through security again. Oh, you fucking bitch.
Carrot Top.
Carrot Top, who's known by his or Scott Thompson, known by Carrot Top and or Scary Motherfucker these days. Who was on board. He was definitely in coach, like with everybody else for sure. Filmed himself in the airport after he was allegedly forced to deplane along the other passengers. This is on my airplane, Carrot Top said in a since deleted Instagram video before turning the camera towards himself to tell his followers, well, this is why we're all sitting here in fucking Dallas now, because she lost her earbud. Interesting. In the follow-up video allegedly taken after the incident, Thompson revealed that he and the other passengers finally made it to Florida, Orlando. I don't really give a fuck. Congratulations, Carrot Top. He was given a verbal criminal trespass notice. The outlet or the New York Post, yes, says she lives in a $2 million home in the Lakewood neighborhood of Dallas. My mother, for so many reasons, her courage and conviction are second to none. She is the first to lend a hand when somebody needs help, Gomez said. She's my sounding board, my sanity, my coach, my confidant. She's simply amazing. That's her talking about her mom. So, yeah, I mean, we're done on this, obviously. There's not much more to it, but, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it sounds weird. Like we'll never hear the real story. It sounds like she's a marketing executive, right? So it's probably a marketing thing. Like how
marketing for what?
Well, for instance, I don't know if anybody here knows who Little Tay is.
Oh.
So Lil Tay is Lil Ray. It's probably a person.
Yeah.
So Lil Tay is this I don't know, kid rapper, celebrity as a child, but it turns out that her brother was the one basically putting her up to all this stuff. She acted like a gangster as a 9-year-old girl.
Basically, like posing in expensive vehicles with a big wad of cash, being like, yo.
Yeah, so with what Long Jason just said there, any exposure is good exposure. The other day, they claimed to be dead on social media, that her and her brother are dead.
An Instagram post was on her Instagram saying basically like, with great sadness that we announced the death of Lil Tay.
13.
It's such a surprise following the death of her brother last week or whatever. And it's just like, so all in one fell swoop, both her and her brother are dead within days of each other. And it's like, what the fuck? And then it was announced yesterday that it's all fake.
Yeah.
That their account was hacked.
The only thing that makes any sense to anyone is that apparently there is a crypto coin called Little Tay coin that is coming out. And the only thing that people can possibly understand why this would have happened if it wasn't, just literally a random hacker is that they're trying to, like Jason said, any exposure is good exposure. So now that name is in your head for when you see Little Tay coin. But that's speculative. Either way, it was just the bounds that people go to try and legitimize the insanity that they put forward for money, like Elon Musk, who apparently has negative cash flow with Twitter, which is down 50% from normal, which we all assumed, because in an effort to revitalize Twitter, he is trying to make it a racist playground.
How is he supposed to be paying everyone for their content if their revenue is down 50%?
Yeah, how are you supposed to tell people Twitter is the most lucrative place to post your content? Like, who's that idiot that just got fired from Fox News? Tucker Carlson.
Oh, yeah.
And then be like, oh yeah, we don't have enough money to fucking pay you the more than 1 month in a row. And some of the people they paid turned out to be just basically making videos about why slavery had benefits and how Hitler may have been misunderstood. Did you see this painting of a fucking German Shepherd? But yeah, it's, again, we don't like talking about Elon Musk. The problem is every single day when I look at my fucking news app, there's a bunch of shit about Elon Musk. And he's like, well, yeah, sure, I'll fight Mark Zuckerberg, but I need back surgery first. What are you talking about? Did you see the ticker talker that?
Oh yeah. We have
that guy who wears
Felix,
with the big glasses and shit.
Yeah.
Cuck Carlson, yeah, Cucker Tarlson.
Cucker Tarlson. Yeah, we have seen that person.
But I mean, if you don't like what's being said about you, just become the head of a country, rewrite the textbooks.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do that? Vladimir Putin has apparently last year it started, I guess, but they are rewriting the textbook taken in the last year of Russian high school, which is grade 11, that basically changes the narrative to justify Russians' invasion and to portray Moscow as a victim of scheming. He did the shove his face into the floor thing. Oh, like this? Jinjee, did you?
He likes to shove his face in
his head.
It's in the back of the.
This is his butt over here.
Yeah, you see his head
right here.
Oh, yeah.
Is that your head, Jinjee?
It's Jinjee.
Sleeping now.
Jinjee.
This is why we're repeating history. We're just not teaching it. Well, so Florida has passed
those who forget the past are condemned
Florida
to repeat it.
is doing the same thing as Russia is doing right now. So anybody who may potentially listen to this in the future who thinks that Ron DeSantis is doing good things for people, he's not. He's doing what Hitler did.
They've approved fucking PragerU to be taught in schools.
Yeah, which is like insane Christian rhetoric or evangelical rhetoric.
Yeah, it's...
But yeah, the Kremlin, because of, Vladimir Putin, the man that wishes he was several feet taller, but is thusly not. After basically he ordered them to come up with a new history textbook for year 11, authorities have formalized a narrative that seeks to justify the Russian invasion and portray Moscow as a victim of scheming in the West. So the textbook's last chapter falsely claims Ukraine was going to join NATO when President Putin decided to invade. Like, what are you... They didn't actually... As far as I know, they may have mentioned it, but they weren't. They started to try and join NATO when they couldn't rely on their neighbor Russia to not fuck them over.
Wasn't probably like the biggest reference to it in Zelensky's comedy TV show that he had been in before becoming president?
Yeah, it's just insane. In the new textbook, the former culture minister has written the chapter titled "Russia is a Country of Heroes," which gives a brief summary of military feats performed by 18 Russian commanders and fighters in the Ukraine. How can you write it into a textbook when it's still happening? You know what I mean?
Oh, speaking...
None of this news is fun.
Speaking of King of the Hill, rest in peace to the guy who voiced Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed away.
Oh, yeah, I just got done watching King of the Hill. Everything is just repeating. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. We are...
Like, it says on, like, the entrance to Auschwitz, those who forget the past are condemned to repeat it.
Yeah.
And, like, it's happening, like, right? Over and over again. And it's been happening for a really long time. And it makes me really sad because for a long time I've been telling people, like, do you not see the parallels here with what's happening and what was happening kind of like pre-World War II?
Well, no, that would never happen here.
And then, people would just argue with me like I'm just this crazy left-wing communist who doesn't know what she's talking about because, like... And I'm talking about, like, I worked somewhere that, like, did, like, a lot of, like, finance and shit like that. And whenever I would have these conversations with people, I was treated like I had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. And clearly, like, the conservative and Republican option is always the best option. And don't worry, because there's other people and things in check to keep these people in check to make sure that bad things won't happen and that they won't overthrow democracy. Well, look what happened. Democracy was almost fucking overthrown in the States.
Yeah,
so,
there's still a bunch of people that say that it should be like Donald Trump should still be president. You know what I mean? Like, I made it home. Well, I'm glad you're home. Hopefully, I don't know, you have voice to text or at least you weren't talking a lot. So I'm glad you must have been driving safe. That's what I choose to believe. I Dutch oven myself while I was reading in bed this morning. You read under the covers? Like you have the covers over your head?
Yeah, like a child reading in bed. Like my dad can't
so
see
you
me
don't
read.
So you don't get grounded for staying up too late?
Yeah.
What we were thinking is
we just do a quick review of the memes.
Yeah, I just need to I drank a bunch of water. And coffee. The current government needs hella reform. I don't think anyone over the... Well, so we were actually talking about... I said that yesterday. In a sense of... I said Joe Biden is several generations removed from what someone who is graduating from high school actually has experienced in life. Joe Biden knows more about fucking telegraphs than he does email. And you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so does everybody else in Congress, which is whatever. Not everything has to do with being up to date on technology, but unfortunately, they're making decisions for things they don't understand.
20th century policy for 21st century people.
Yeah, and a person elected by the people with potentially no qualifications gets to decide medical things, gets to decide, religious freedoms and,
meanwhile,
it's fucking ridiculous.
Mitch McConnell basically
Turtle
dies
boy?
on stage while he's delivering a speech.
Yeah, his brain just stops working.
Yeah, and then
Joe Biden does that too.
Yeah, and then goes to receive the best fucking medical care that America has to offer, but does everything he can to make sure that the people of America can't receive that same coverage.
It's like Joe Rogan convinces people to go against what they should want by saying, "Oh, COVID's a lie, Fauci, ouchie, vaccine, this and that." Well, Joe Rogan gets COVID, spends like $200,000 to get pumped full of the same shit they gave Trump when he gave it as the president, and then he goes, "Oh, it's no big deal." Well, most other people can't even get fucking baby aspirin at the store. It's like, what are you talking about? Everyone thinks they're going to become... Everyone equally has the opportunity to become the next billionaire.
Yeah.
So they defend billionaires like they've ever done anything for anybody.
Yeah. Well, I remember one time watching an interview with Kevin O'Leary, and basically he thinks that it's good to have millionaires and billionaires because it inspires poor people to become rich.
Yeah, and Krissy had experienced the same thing with her uncle.
Yeah.
And so many people experience a situation where a loved one was basically, the hospital was like, yeah, they're going to be here till they can't breathe anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess the one part that really highlights the hypocrisy for us is all of these decisions are made by people who claim to care about other people in a religious sense, or like they have values or morals that keep them from doing what's best for others, and it's so far from the truth. Maybe just a quick be right back.
Oh, do you need
I need to use the washroom.
Do you need to pay? Maybe, yeah, I don't need to pay, but
no one normal person cannot become a billionaire on their own unless you're born into wealth. Yeah, or you make it to the 1%, or you win the lottery somehow, which is even like its own little Black Mirror style curse, when then, everyone comes out of nowhere to take your monies. Yeah, it's so strange. But yes, I'm sorry to be negative. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to use the bathroom. You can stare at Jinjee and listen to some tunes. Play some commands if you would like to do so.
Jason, I just realized you changed your Discord name to Jandassy.
Jandassy. You would. Okay, Jandassy. It won't be forever. We'll be right back.
Let's fucking go. Go, lads. Let's fucking go.
She knows everything allowed to be sassy on that birthday.
Look at that pretty face. Did you just wink at them as a sausage?
Maybe.
How dare you? Hey.
Hey.
Hey, hi. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
I got myself an apple.
I got myself not an apple. Do you guys have favorite apples? We got a lot of Granny Smiths. Jinjee will come back. He's chomping on his wet dry.
He's having some brunch.
We call it the wet dry because one time he had like
He was really
a
constipated.
constipatory backlog,
He
and
had like a big shit stuck in his bum.
and they said to put water in his food, and we're like, even his wet food
And they're like, yeah.
or his dry food, and they're like, yeah.
And he loves it.
And he prefers dry food that's been wetted than
actual
just
wet
dry
food.
food. Because but the crazy thing is you should see how much it inflates. So like, you know how you're not supposed to feed pigeons rice because they'll explode? It's kind of the same thing. If a cat ate way too much dry and then drank a bunch of water, I bet you it would quadruple in size in its stomach. But Honeycrisp is a good apple.
It's true.
I know this. I actually like one of the most, I would say, divisive apples, which is the Red and Delicious.
I hate the Red Delicious.
It's so good. It's just like
It's
pure
always mealy.
sweet apple.
No, it's always mealy. Whenever I get one, it's mealy and dry and has no flavor.
Pigeons won't explode. I thought, oh no, that's Alka-Seltzer that makes them explode. Isn't it? Mr. Levity, we would love to know the answer to your question. Christina is less optimistic on the subject than I. I choose
try
to
to be
believe.
less optimistic about it so my heart doesn't get broken.
Yeah, I try to be overly optimistic and say the neighbors babysitting their kids' dogs for a week. Carl may have assumed they were coyotes and has kept his distance.
They are they're babies. Yeah, they're babysitting their daughter's dogs, and they have a collie.
Frozen peas and carrots are great for ducks.
And then another dog that their daughter got. She had to do some work on a reservation, and this dog was there, and she took it. And it's definitely part Rottweiler, part German Shepherd. Looking at it, but he's very cute. His name is Kip. very, very sweet.
Yeah, he's
but
very sweet.
he's like
he's energetic.
He's an energetic, bitey puppy.
Yeah. He's definitely a little puppy. I choose to believe Carl will return and the jubilation will be sweet. I agree. Carl is smart, and I think he'll be fine. We sometimes put bone broth. Yeah, Jinjee would probably. We got Jinjee cat milk once.
He did not like it.
He does like catnip, which is good. He might actually even enjoy one of his dad's delicacies, and everyone knows Jason is Jinjee's biological father, and he harvests Mountain Dew in the mountains so he can make his Mountain Dew dogs.
Veronica will only eat dry food, and she's bitchy about that.
Mountain Dew dogs. Veronica, she's annoying. Jinjee doesn't even really like white rice or white rice. Why did I say white rice? Jinjee doesn't really like wet food. He only eats a little bit of it. There's no way I would eat those. Not even if you Scandinavian. Watch the knife. Watch. For some reason, I don't know if you guys have this, but when sharp things are pointed my way, I feel weird. Like I'm about to get poked. I don't know. It's an anxiety thing. I have a question about drugs. Shoot. Does it involve anything to do with Mountain Dew dogs? When you're already doing 5 things and a customer asks you for help.
I know that feeling so well. And it's like, can't you tell I'm a little bit busy? Go ask the person over there who's literally
It's always
doing
something
nothing.
like, do you happen to have this in green? And you're like, was there any there? If there isn't, then go pound sand.
It looks closer because of the camera.
I disagree. Oh, Jinjee butt. He back.
It's forced perspective.
I'm 12% Norwegian, according to a DNA test. Philip got a DNA test. Turns out no bananas in the veg. I'm just kidding. I got Krissy one for her birthday.
Yeah.
I should probably get one.
You should.
This happens every time she has a knife eating something on stream. That's true. It's a me thing. My equally depressed friends and I checking in on each other to make sure we're all doing okay. Oh, look at this little boy on the Chonkosaurus. That's the same kitty, I think. Krissy apple mukbang. Sucks it's usually pretty expensive. I would make it if it wouldn't gross me out. Yeah, if you didn't have to boil bones to make like Jello, the original Jello. When you have to help your mom find you a new dad. The unfortunate thing is this probably happens so much more than any of us want to actually believe.
This reminds me of the first time I ever saw a prostitute in real life.
The first time you seen a tit?
I was in Calgary.
I was
a child with my father. We were walking down the street and there was this woman talking with this man, and she was definitely dressed suggestively. And like you could like, I mean, I honestly I was maximum 11 years old. So I was kind of like a little oblivious to what was going on. I just thought it was like a man talking to a woman. But then as we got further past, my dad, who did like, you know, he worked with like law enforcement, so he wasn't unintelligent when he came to that kind of stuff. He then informed me that what we just saw was a man propositioning a prostitute that we just walked past.
I think Jinjee opened his eye when he heard that you were looking at prostitutes.
Yeah, he did.
I only seen prostitutes. Actually, you know what? Probably in Vegas on the old strip. I'm just curious of your thoughts about mushrooms, the magic kind, or psychedelics in general.
Do them, they're fun.
It does not involve Mountain Dew dogs. Oh yeah.
Make sure you're in the right mood and you have the right people to do them with.
Yeah. So, mushrooms.
Your best to take us is tea.
Or psilocybin. They are doing a lot of tests in places like British Columbia and I think like not Vermont in the state, Oregon in the States.
Oh, I have no idea.
Where they're using it to treat certain mental illnesses, anxieties, depressions, what they used to call post-traumatic stress.
They're like decriminalized here in Canada now.
I think they're decriminalizing them in certain places in the States. Oh, nice. So, Mad Ladison, we don't often get to see Abby Artfox much anymore, but I know that she had said that she had tried the microdosing thing where it's just small amounts that, it's not really making you incapacitated. It's just lingering. Take care, Violetta. Thank you so much for being here. Get a bunny. Cats love bunnies.
Yeah, Mom, stop listening if for some reason you're listening to this. But mushrooms are a good time. I've had many spiritual insight.
I do believe Jason is saying the truth. You shouldn't tell them to do it if it's illegal.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
don't do things that are illegal. At all.
Yeah, the places like British Columbia and Oregon. And other states that are
like how it's perfectly legal for me to smoke marijuana here.
But
I'm not encouraging illegal activities by any stretch of the imagination.
The one thing that I would
mushrooms
say
are great.
Is
I love button mushrooms.
If you put yourself in a anxious situation, it will make it
that'll
worse.
Exacerbate it.
So just I would just take it easy. Don't expect anything to happen, and just don't let, like myself, I have anxiety, right? So one of the things that happens to me, and I know people who have done, I've had opportunities to do things like acid, but I obviously never have. Because of my anxiety, it's too much adventure into the unknown that I know I'm not comfortable enough to think that I would be able to not have a bad time.
The reason I would never do acid is because there is correlation between people doing acid and having like a schizophrenic breakdown. And just because like my uncle did have who recently passed away, he did have schizophrenia, and so I'm technically like more predisposed to potentially, like, I'm well past it now because I'm 36 years old, so I should hopefully be well past having a schizophrenic breakdown if I were to have one, but I'm technically more predisposed to schizophrenia than most people, so that's why I would never do LSD. But I've had button mushrooms.
36 years young, baby.
Many a time.
And Danny, oh sorry, what were you gonna say? I didn't cut you off. You're probably about to say something that you.
No, I was gonna say I've enjoyed it many times. I've had many, like I said, deep spiritual insights. Just make sure you're not anywhere that you're going to be kind of stressed. I find sometimes that being around people who are not on button mushrooms can be a weird experience because they're not on the same wavelength as you.
It's just mostly about if you know it has a potential to last X amount of time, try to set up as safe a zone as possible in that time so you're not getting calls from your parents or work or whatever.
I always end up like to smoke weed when I do button mushrooms.
Yeah, it's probably one of the reasons that the edible aspect of marijuana never worked for me is because by the time it kicks in, I've already smoked a bunch of weed waiting for it to kick in.
Because sometimes I feel they give you the internal like wormy feel is the best way to be like, and then clothes can feel too constricting.
Can you put that knife away?
I'm holding it.
Yeah,
way
you're just
over
moving
here.
around too much for holding a sharp knife. Mad Lawson, this is why I would also avoid anything too intense. My brain goes to survival places, and sometimes they bother Krissy. Like one is I will, if we go somewhere that's a longer distance, I'll unplug the water pump and the water heater.
It's like you don't realize that when I do art, I literally sit there handling scalpels.
Not like this, though. Not like, well, if you're, doing mushrooms. I've brought it up to my doctor before that I worry about little things. Like, is this unplugged when we leave the house or whatever? And all he says to me is, well, that's not the worst thing to worry about. And I'm like, no, God damn it. It's like, it's annoying to not be able to, like, get in the car and drive away without going, did I look at this? And so those are some of my tendencies that, make it that going too far outside of my brain would be scary. He's not listening to what you're saying. Your doctor is being unhelpful. I know. The problem is that I also tell him 17 other problems at the same time. And he's like, well, are you okay? Yeah. Let's see what basically Jason Meme Time has supplied for us here. I do believe this one's apropos. I haven't read it yet, but when you're in the middle of a panic attack and you remember something unrelated to be anxious about, no, one crisis at a time. Very, very apropos. I worry that I haven't locked the door when we go out, even when I check 3 times. When we took Ollie to the vets on Wednesday, we left the back door wide open. Come on, Phil. Jason is depressed lately. I can only apologize. I'm sorry, Jason. Maybe it's been how's the weather been for you? How's the weather been, pixelized Jason?
Jason!
Uh-oh. What happened? Can't. The internet froze. Don't talk to me until I've had my morning Super Saiyan Blue THC 200 milligrams higher than human moon juice. That actually looks fucking great. Is that real? Can't be. It's too great. Hey, this one's about Phil. Come on. Sorry, computer's being... Phil, my mental state is, if you give me a hug for too long, I will start crying. Jason, that's not happy either. You accused us of not being fun. Hey, Happy Mask, how are ya? Me, whenever someone says something slightly nice to me. Unusually repulsive cat startled by a gesture of affection. The
Oppression never cease.
The oppression never cease. What happened, Cat? I was given only one treat. Only one. Cat, will you get chunky if you eat too many? Then let me be chunk. Jinjee loves cats. I didn't actually know her loves treats. When we took him to the vet, they actually said, like, we tried to give him food and he didn't like it until we brought the treats out.
He's very motivated by
temptations, yeah. I love that people have always dressed up their cats and the cats have always been grumps about it. Well, I mean, yeah, it's true. Jinjee doesn't love outfits, but as you can see...
He's not upset by them.
He does have a Yoda one he kind of likes.
It's because he correlates his costumes with his outside harness, and so he thinks that he's going outside if you put a costume on him. So that's why he's okay with it.
Yeah,
it's very cute, actually.
So, the one thing Krissy found that we thought would be funny to talk about is that I didn't have eggs. So
he does like to sniff the floor.
He clip. Is there a particular way you want to rank them? Because we've never really looked at it before.
Yeah, all time. I wonder if
Trying to
couscous.
see what you. So what exactly is going on? Oh wait, here, let me. Sorry. What exactly is going on in this?
So this subreddit is called "I Didn't Have Eggs: Terrible Recipe Reviews." So it's people reviewing recipes that they made, but they ultimately made the recipe wrong, which is why it turned out so poorly for them. But they can't seem to realize that.
Also, we're doing pretty good, Happy Mask.
shit.
How are you doing?
Didn't mean to do that.
So we sorted it by the best of all time.
Sorry, but I tried this and it was awful. It was dry and the flavor, even if it wasn't dry, was not good. A lot of the flavor issue could have been attributable to the sausage I chose. I did use Italian sausage and it didn't vary from the recipe. It was disappointing. Hardly anyone, group of about 17 tried it and ended up dumping about 7/8 of the pan. I wanted to try to salvage, but knew I was kidding myself about anyone eating the leftovers. Sorry, just being honest. It calls for sage, not sausage. The herb, not the meat.
Wow. Unbelievable. Oh, wow. Hey, Danny. Or Dan and Danny. Dan?
Done.
Look at that pretty face.
Did you just wink at them as a sausage? How are you, Dan?
How dare you?
How's your walk with the puppy, Happy Mask? We have a lot of sage that grows around here.
Oh yeah, there's like tons of wild sage.
So this was on a recipe for peach ice cream. I don't like peaches, so I substitute carrots. It was very good.
It wasn't
very good. It needs more sweetness.
Well, yeah.
I've substituted peaches for carrots. And it wasn't sweet enough. Jesus.
Before we
Dan.
This is reminding me of a story I once heard. So the very first person I ever dated, their grandmother would make weird substitutions. So she made this casserole, and the casserole called for mushrooms, and she didn't have mushrooms, so she used I believe it was yogurt she used instead. I don't recall if it was plain yogurt or flavored yogurt. I just know it was yogurt. And the only way that I can see getting from mushrooms to yogurt is mushrooms, mushroom soup. Mushroom soup is similar in consistency to yogurt. That's the only correlation.
I mean, it sounds gross. Yes, Jason, we've been together since we were 5.
Yeah.
Look at this. God, I could put this in my
body. Audio Bagadio. Yeah, luckily, I mean, my mom's done stuff like that. I can't think of any examples right now, but I remember being like, "What is this?"
Why are you
and she's like, "Well, I didn't have this, so I used this." And I was like, "Well, why don't you just make something else?"
The weirdest thing to me that made me laugh so much is we were visiting his mom one time in Moose Jaw, and I come up from the basement, and she's standing in the tub with like large rubber gloves rinsing something off, and I was just like, "What are you doing, Franny?" And she's like, "Cooking chicken." And I was like, "Oh," and then I just continued walking past the bathroom.
Krissy.
If you ever had
it was weird
washed chicken, you know what we talking about.
And then another time she was making taco meat, and she cooked the beef and then washed the beef.
Wash your beef
after cooking all of it. Poured the beef in the colander and then rinsed it underwater.
It's like a George Foreman. It gets the grease out, right? Using a George Foreman grill.
Ooh.
Jinjee has shoved his face into Evan's lingerie. No, Jinjee is being a sleepy boy. He
What? What did you say? What?
Pretty sure that's been a hammock. It is a grocery bag,
Yeah.
Jason.
It's a no frills bag.
Can you read that one?
I substituted tofu for the steak, corn pops for the potatoes, and used some dandelions instead of the jalapenos. It was awful. Never again. Well, of course.
How in God's name could that be anything close to a regular recipe?
Corn pops.
So 4 cups of apple cider vinegar to 2 bottles of wine was absurd.
Oh, he wants to know what the black thing is beside Jinjee. Is that the
It's
handle?
the handle of the bag.
Yeah.
I just kind of tied it up so that he can't get it wrapped around his head like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because sometime he'll go walking around dragging a bag.
Yeah, like he's Superman with a cape.
What is this? Fill up? Oh, from Futurama.
This seems as good a time as any to bring up my new grill for no reason. With its patented design, the fat drains directly into my mouth.
I've had George Foreman's. They work pretty good. He shoved his nose into it. He likes to keep his nose warm. Look at it. So cute. So this did not taste like mulled wine cider. I tried to make this for two times the servings with every single ingredient. There was way too much vinegar. I had acid reflux after drinking it and had to find a way to neutralize the taste because 4 cups of apple cider vinegar to 2 bottles of wine was absurd. All other mulled wine recipes did not include apple cider vinegar. I don't know where I went wrong. And then the reply was, B, the problem is that the recipe calls for apple cider, not apple cider vinegar. If you make it with apple cider, the juice, the drinking kind, it will be much better. So actually what this kind of highlights to me is, so we've been looking at like, you know, YouTube videos, what we watch, and we re-enabled like where you can see how many downvotes there are. And sometimes I honestly am just confused, like what, it's like a video of something good that happens to somebody and there's a bunch of downvotes and you're like, who the fuck didn't like this? What didn't you like about this? And it's just people like this that don't understand. Drink apple cider vinegar. Dude, apple cider vinegar has got to be one of the grossest smelling things.
So bad.
Oh, it hits me like a ton of bricks and it turns my stomach.
Pour it down the sink.
They found this gem. You want to read that?
Oh, I don't blame the recipe for what happened. I should have stopped after dropping the eggs or after spilling half a bag of sugar. But yet, things got really bad when making the caramel. I was using a cheap spoon made of cheap plastic.
What?
I didn't realize it was melting because the caramel would stick to the spoon and distort the spoon. The melted plastic sort of mixed with the caramel before cementing to the pot. I owe my housemate a new pot. My tip, use a heat-resistant spoon.
Like, come on. Like, there's just some people who they're
like,
missing
when you make
their
caramel,
arms.
you have to get it to really hot temperatures. You can't use one of those like cheap disposable
Starling's
spoons.
acting up. I just left a like on this video. Thank you. Likes help. Apparently, it's like the one thing that governs things.
Yeah,
in
likes and comments
YouTube.
apparently help on shit.
Danny, you're only allowed to eat cilantro and water. Did you know cilantro tastes like soap to some people?
Yeah.
So I highly recommend this recipe. For this, I replaced the mash with pat pastry. With the filling a little salty, I added chicken and mushroom and removed the fish mix and prawns. So you made a chicken and mushroom pie with a pastry instead of a fish pie with mashed potatoes. It just amuses me that you've highly recommended this recipe after making something completely different. I'm really bad for recipes, like, or for not like, I'll follow it 100%. I don't know how to deviate if I don't have something. Krissy can.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I not to toot my own horn. I am a better cook than you.
Oh yeah. I had this delicious omelet this morning. I seasoned the eggs with sugar, oil, and chocolate, and threw in a little flour for.
They're making a joke about eating a brownie instead of an omelet.
I once substituted all the ingredients to make a stir-fried chicken dish by ordering takeout instead. It's just because I always. Well, you should wash your balls, or else cats will crush them.
I would love some. Oh, when we go into town today to get your medications, we should see if they have like
my balls.
Chicken balls for sale at the co-op. I kind of want Chinese food.
Sorry, what about Chinese food?
I said I kind of want Chinese food. We should see if they have chicken balls for sale at the co-op.
Yeah. I don't know if I've seen them.
No, me neither. But we'll have to take a look in the frozen chicken aisle.
Hi, Jessica. Just curious, could I change the coconut with shredded cheddar cheese? Will it work flavor-wise? And do I need to change composition of other ingredients? Thanks a lot. No, I don't recommend using cheese in this brownie recipe. I hope you enjoy them. Why? Because they're both shredded? Is that why?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck a duck.
Maybe she wanted to make like a cheese brownie.
Cheesy browns. Oh,
They
my
changed
body.
the coconut with shredded cheddar cheese. Like maybe because like you know how there's
pizza,
like cheese, really good cheese bread out there, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why you would put cheese.
Is it
in
deep
a
or
brownie.
deep too? It might be. Don't remember which one it is.
Have I had deep dish?
There it is.
What's Pizza Hut? Is Pizza Hut deep dish pizza? Have I had deep dish? What's Pizza Hut? Is Pizza Hut deep dish pizza? I will say probably like the most, and it's probably not even that most that controversial, but one of the more controversial flavor things that I like is Chicago style popcorn, which is the caramel and cheddar. That stuff's good. Audio, you're from Chicago, aren't you? Do they have Chicago popcorn in Chicago?
Yeah, Audio. Have you ever heard of Chicago popcorn?
Or is this like a Canadian thing where we're like, oh yeah, the people in Chicago there.
Yeah,
they eat the Chicago popcorn.
And cheddar corn. Sorry, I was just reading this one. Reviews on Jamie's sweet corn on the cob. Have made it like this before. I like it. Leaving a 5-star to counteract the jerk that left a 1-star review because her husband's a diabetic. Reviewing recipes you can't eat and didn't make is a dick move. Get a life and quit making me do this. There's wars on the internet everywhere. People are warring over recipe reviews and...
Audio says that popcorn is god tier. It's true.
Yeah.
The combination of the salty and the sweet, so good.
Yeah, I
and if you find
prefer the caramel part.
If you find a Colonel's where you can get like a big bag of it, Colonel's has the best.
Yeah.
Colonel's
is a place
really expensive though.
Sells fancy popcorns.
Yeah.
Fancy corns.
Do they have Colonel's in the States, or is it a Canadian thing? Colonel's popcorn.
Only a Chicago hot dog I put in my mouth. Yeah, just pretty generic brand.
Yeah. Well, if you go to the main page, there was somebody who asked, is Colonel's Canadian? Yeah. Oh, it's
Toronto.
Located in
There you go.
Toronto, yeah. So
we buy a lot of like faux theater popcorn from the grocery store.
well, not even faux. I'll show them.
I guess it's real. They just make it and put it in a big bag. Someone's missing out on a great marketing ploy. Kernels. That's
it's
true.
It's called a heap of popcorn.
The other half of the heap has been in our body.
Yeah, because we don't have a movie theater anywhere close to us, and movie theater popcorn is like also the best fucking popcorn.
Facts.
So we buy bags of it. It's also cheaper, and then we can have our own movie nights. And what you do is you buy yourself some Twizzlers to go with it. And then
It is a combination I didn't know of.
And then you take a bite of Twizzler, and then you put some popcorn in your mouth, and you eat the two together, and it's really good.
Oh, Jinjee,
it's a good taste. Have fun talking to your
Yeah,
coworker.
we're actually just gonna take off. I think my back is pretty sore. It's rainy and shitty out. And we got to go in and get my medication and stuff like that. Thank you, Jason. Enjoy your social activity. Don't be rude to anybody. We thank you guys for being here. Thank you, everybody, as always. You're all wonderful. Ninja Krissy will Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon jump us.
And to go with what was talked about earlier, only do legal things, people.
Yes, don't.
Yeah.
Just be safe about what you do in an environment with safe people that you can trust. Oh, I can be rude to this coworker. It's fine. Okay, sounds good, Jason. You do you. If it pops into your frond, that's the right thing. But
just looking at it, and the words pop right into my front.
Thank you guys for coming to hang out. It's always lovely to see you. We will check you on Discord.
Yes.
And other places in the digital sphere. We hope you take care and much love. Pokemon! Why'd you say Pokemon?
Pokemon.
Catch them all!
Digimon are the champions.
Digimon Pokeballs.
Love you.
Bye, much love. Take